Hey folks, it's Josh, and I wanted to bring everybody up to date on what I've been doing planner-wise. It's been a very inconsistent year. I've been trying lots of different things and feeling very unsettled with my planners. And I actually just was looking through my archives from the past few years, and 2014 has been remarkably inconsistent. I was actually looking, 2013 I spent about 5 months using one setup and then changed to another one and used that for the rest of the year into January of 2014 when I switched. And since then, it's like every couple of months I've made a pretty substantial change to my planner setup, which is kind of a pain. And I think that something that's important for me to kind of acknowledge, and I'll just say it here, is that I'm not an organized person. People think that I'm organized because I use a planner, but really the planner just helps me meet kind of a minimum standard of organization, other people's expectations of what an organized person will do. When I look at how I use a planner, I'm not organized about how I use it, and I'm not in any way consistent. And even in periods where I've used the same setup for a long time, I've been very inconsistent about how much stuff I put into my planner on a day-to-day basis. Some days I really spell out everything that I do that day and really clearly indicate to myself whether I finished it or was worked on it a little bit or delegated it or whatever. Other days it's like I have one or two really big things that I need to do and there's nothing else there. I'm sure I did lots of other things, but there's no detail, and I always carry it and I always look at it and I always write in it, but I go through periods of the year where I'm not very methodical, and I'm not sure that that's a bad thing. I mean, the planner is supposed to be a tool to help us achieve things in our life, not to be a lifestyle choice. And I know lots of us use it as a lifestyle choice. That's why I can have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to this, as can many other people. But I think I have achieved a certain planner maturity at this level where even when I'm not really thinking about planners at all, I just continue to use it, and it in a fairly normal way. But as I mentioned, it's very inconsistent. I intend to do a weekly review every week, but I don't necessarily do one every week. I intend to do a monthly index, but I rarely actually get to do one. And even when I sit down to do one, I really struggle to figure out what, out of everything I did that month, is likely to be something that I'll need to retrieve later. It's really hard. I mean, things that I assume I'll want to know, I never care. And then, just today I had to look something up from earlier this year, and I didn't write. I remember writing it into my planner. I know it's in my archive somewhere, but I've got like 400 pages of archives, and I have no idea where this is. So I have no idea what month it happened in, and I didn't index it. So anyway, so I'll get on with it. Sorry, let me pick this up. I started off the year in my red Winchester, which y'all have seen a lot of times, and I don't even have it with me right now. It's in the bookcase. But in April, I got this A5 manager from Van der Spek, and I've shown this a few times too. So I use this binder consistently from early April until early September. And but during that time, I tried different inserts many times. It's actually part of the reason why I cannot find that item I was just mentioning that I know I did this year, but I don't know where it is because I changed the inserts in this over and over and over again. There's huge overlap, and it's very unclear to me now as I flip back when I stopped using one and started using a different one, because I frequently have put a lot of forward planning into my pages. So I might stop using something today, but there's entries in my planner until the end of, until 6 months from now. There are scheduled entries and ticklers and all these things, and that's part of the reason why I don't like to switch planners because I have to transfer all that stuff into my new planner, which is extremely time consuming and error prone. I'm not good at that sort of tedious, kind of planner dubbing thing. I frequently will miss something, or I'm looking at, there's something there and I see it and I go to copy and I'm like, oh, that's not important, I'm not going to copy it, and then it turns out that it was and I needed it and I don't have it. But anyway, so I use this, and I'm not entirely, there were a few things that were getting frustrating about it. It seemed, I think the big thing was that by the time August rolled around, my setup in this had become extremely complicated. I had day timer day on 2 pages. I had the memory system week on 2 pages. I had monthly view, and I had some DIY fish views, and just all this different stuff. And I suddenly found myself in early August, I had just completely confused about where things went in this. So my first step was I removed everything except the daily and monthly view. But even that I found to be kind of a lot of a pain in the butt. So I really was craving just totally streamlined system. I'm just the complicated system was driving me crazy. I wanted something really streamlined. So I got out of this and I went into a green Dundee. I'd always wanted a cropped print filofax. I like personal size, and personal size has worked really well for me for a long time. And I bought this, and I thought it was beautiful, and I wanted to use it. It's just in use now. It's lots of blank note paper. I've got quite a lot of it stored in here at the moment. It's a little overfilled, as you see. I used this for all of September and all of October, and in early November, I got kind of frustrated. Personal size works great as a day planner, but it's not great for storing reference information, and so I'd left a lot of things in the A5, which I left at home, and I had to make notes that I had to look something up in the A5, or take something out of the A5, or add something to the A5 when I got home. On good days that happens, but there are also other days where I am at my desk at 7:30 in the morning, and I'm there until 5, and I go to a meeting, and I get home from work, and it's 9 o'clock at night, and I'm exhausted, and I don't do that kind of thing. Like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to I don't want to do stuff like that at that time, and so it doesn't get done. And then the next day, I don't do it for whatever reason, and suddenly I find that I've got a week's worth of updates to do, or I'm at work and I realize there's something in here that I need that I don't have, and so I finally, after, having a very successful 2 months in this, I tried to switch back to this again. Figure just get everything in one place, it's all together. I love this binder. It's got huge rings. I can fit everything. It's not even half full right now. And so I tried using it again, but pretty quickly just ran into, it's so big. I mean, if you look at the Dundee, I feel like it feels like it's twice the size. It's not excessively heavy, but it's just big. And I was kind of, it just wasn't clicking. I don't know why. It wasn't making me too happy. So I just about a week ago, kind of on a whim, swapped back into a personal size filofax. This is the 5/4 Winchester that I got from Natalie. I love this. I bought it from her, I want to say about a year ago. And I was so excited to get it, but I never actually moved into it. I had my bright red Winchester, which I was just so happy with, and the extra capacity of this was really nice and very compelling, but I was so happy in my other one I never switched into this one. But anyway, it suddenly seemed like this one might be kind of potentially a solution. And one of the things I noticed about this one, because it does have big rings, you run into the problem where the pages don't move. So I actually took page lifters from my Franklin Quest and put them in here, and was kind of surprised that they fit, which is awesome. And I actually put, you see I have a pen and pencil. The pen is on one of these adhesive pen loops that I stuck to the front page lifter. So that works great. Now it always closes right. The page is always moved to the middle when you close it because of the page lifters, and it's not full. I don't know if you can, by opening, I think you can see better, but it's really, it's got quite a lot more space in here. And my setup, I just went back to what I was using before, which I think I don't know if I've shown it lately, but anyway, what I did, I have 3 today markers in here. So I have a frosted, I have the one from Daytimer, and then here I've got a clear one. I'm sorry, you can't see that very well. So 1, 2, 3. The first one goes to my notes. This is actually a Clairefontaine notebook that I cut and punched. I have, I think, basically the entire notebook in here. The second one, the Daytimer today marker, goes to my Daytimer day on 2 pages. I keep 1 week's worth of pages in here. That's it. And so on a work day, scheduled events go here, and I also will pencil in kind of how I want to structure my work through the day. I find that really helps me, that not show up at work and start spinning my wheels, not knowing what to do, where to start. I just, the night before, we'll just sort of pencil out, like, from 8 to 9 a.m. I'm going to finish this project. From 9 to 10, I'm going to look at my email. From 10 to 11, I've got a meeting. From 11 to 12, I'm going to, work on something. From 12 to 1, I'm going to take lunch, from whatever. So I kind of get my whole day planned out. I don't follow that plan always. Frequently, stuff comes up that's out of my control, and sort of, throws the whole plan to hell. But it frequently is, the plan, having that day plan really does help me kind of get some focus on how I'm going to get my to-do list done around all of my appointments. This is a weekend day, so I didn't really need to do that. And then I put my work to-do list down here on work days, and just any to-do list here on weekends. And so this would be my work to-do list. Schedule, work to-do list. I have my routines check stamp. You can see it's got make bed, bathroom. That's just a quick wipe up of the bathroom. Vacuum, brush dogs, compost, mail, file receipts, litter box, 15 minutes, and walk. Those are all things I want to make sure I get done every day. Many of them take like less than 5 minutes. Some of them take like between 5 and 15 minutes. But that's adequate. Like, when I say vacuum, it doesn't mean I have to vacuum the whole apartment. It means I have to vacuum, I have to get the vacuum out and vacuum something. And, some days I might do several rooms. Some days I might just quickly sweep the kitchen with a vacuum. It really doesn't matter. Brush dogs, it's not like this full-on grooming. It's just a quick sort of, give them a quick comb out. Compost is just take all of our vegetable cuttings and stuff like that and chuck them in the compost out back. Mail is just going through and processing all the incoming mail. File receipts is related to that. So that's, at the end of the day, it's logging any transactions that I've made. It's taking all the mail that I've processed and filing it away, or shredding it up or throwing it away. Litter box, it's either change it or just do a quick kind of clean up. 15 minutes is just some project around the house. That might be doing the dishes, that might be putting away the laundry, that might be hanging up the laundry to dry, that might be just picking up all the junk around the house and putting it back where it goes. And then walk is, generally I'll check that off if I walked at least a couple of miles that day. I usually walk to work, which is about 1.25 miles each way. On a good day, I will walk about 5 miles, but generally I'll tick this off if I walked at all, with some substance. So anyway, that I made up this stamp at Vistaprint. You just just mock it up exactly what you want and click order, and like a week later it comes to you. The little check boxes are just that's a symbol in Microsoft Word, I think, that or I may have just typed it directly into the order form on the internet browser. I can't remember. I think I found it, typed it, copied and pasted it into the form. But yeah, you just type up what you want. They make it up for you. So each week when because I only keep a week's worth of pages in, on Sunday I get out 7 new pages. I stamp them. I copy all of my appointments in, and I start writing in my to-dos that I'd like to get done each day, at least for the first couple days of the week. So that helps me get started on my week, kind of, with the ball rolling already. I'm not kind of going into work on Monday morning not knowing which way is up. It's planned out. And so on work day, schedule, work to-do list, I've got my routines, and then I'll write my personal to-do list over here, and then the rest of this page I just use for stray notes. I'll write my work hours, if there are any, up here. And let me see if I have one I can show you. I've had a lot of proprietary information going on at work lately, so I'm not sure if I do. Yeah, yesterday was pretty dead, but so I was working 9 to 5 yesterday. That was Black Friday. It was dead. No one was there. So those are my day pages, and immediately after the day pages, I have week on 2 pages diary from filofax. So if we go, and I mark the current week with the clear today marker, so it's the last one. So I've got my work hours, my work scheduled hours written in the blue ink at the top line. I write all of my scheduled appointments and meetings, and then I'll put any tickler items like to-dos, tasks, project deadlines, things like that on the right-hand side of the page. So I don't think next week is kind of busy, but I have a few things sketched in. I have a few things over here sketched in. Just things I need to do. So when I fill out, so on Friday the 5th, I see that I have to edit the hours open table in the system, and I have to change the voicemail greeting because our hours are changing on Saturday. So I just wrote those in here, but when I fill out my day pages for the week, I'll copy that information over to the day pages. So, and I didn't get a 2015 diary yet, so I've just got these up to the end of December, and then I have some of the daytimer forward planning calendars for 2015, a few things written in that I need to do, and then I've got forward planning for 2016 and 2017 in the back. So, this setup is working great, and I think I'm trying to kind of simplify and get a little bit more consistent. When I look over the past year, I pretty consistently used some iteration of this system for a good part of the year. It works really well for me. It's not too bulky, and I think that kind of as I'm thinking about how I want to use it moving forward, I'm actually thinking to really make things as straightforward as possible for me. Once I've done all that transfer from the week to the day pages for the current week, that I'll take the weekly view out, or at least there's the page that, not the page that the flip side is next week, but the first part of this week out. And honestly, if I've copied all the week information onto those day pages, all I need to keep is the day pages. I can just throw the week pages away because everything will have moved over. What I would like to get myself to is where I've got a very clear record of what's going on. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. So I've been using this. It's working really well. But I will say that another thing that I've been really daydreaming about is getting myself into a smaller planner. I don't have it with me, but I've been carrying a little notebook in my pocket, and I love it. It's so nice to just, it's with me with a pen, and I've got it with me all the time, everywhere I go. And I would love to have my planner fit in a pocket. That would be just amazing. I have this, if I have my bag with me, I have this with me. I carry it around with me, but like when the weather gets nasty, if I don't have a bag to put it in, I can't bring it out with me because it gets rained on. It doesn't fit in my coat pocket. It certainly doesn't fit in my trouser pocket. And so it's not that much more portable, really, than the A5. They both really require a bag to be carried. I mean, this one I can carry it in my hand, but then my hand is full. So I would love to have something that I could slip in a pocket. I have a few things. I have this little guy. I don't know if I've shown this on video before, but this is a kid leather 4-ring pocket with gold rings. It's black. It's got kind of a royal blue satiny lining. It's got gold rings. I think they're only about 11 or 12 millimeter. So the whole little book is very slim. I just have it filled with note paper right now. But this isn't that much bigger than my notebook that I carry in my pocket, and it's very, very slim and flexible. It doesn't have a pen loop or a closure, which really keeps the bulk down. It doesn't have one of those full width back pockets. I know people like those, but those really bulk up a binder like you wouldn't believe, especially if you're looking for something really slim to slip in your pocket. So I've been really kind of looking into pocket size inserts that I could use. I saw that Ray and Steve have a filofaxy day on 2 pages for pocket size. I was really thinking about getting some thin paper and trying to kind of replicate the overall system that I'm using in Personal into a pocket to see how that works. But this is really slim. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be able to fit as much into this as I fit in here. And I'm not sure I want to give all that up. And so, but I do think that I may make an experiment with this at some point in the near future, because it really is a compelling idea. I love Jet Pen sells that Da Vinci, those Da Vinci inserts, which they have for pocket size, but they're not punched appropriately for the 4-ring. I would have to repunch all the pages, because these are actually these 2 rings. The 4 rings match the inner 4-ring spacing of a Personal. So I can just use my Personal size punch to repunch the pages to fit. But that's a lot of work. I might try it anyway. But that paper is really nice because it is so thin, and so you can fit a lot more pages into a tiny ring size. And I'm sort of wondering if I got rid of, I keep my contacts in here, but I'm wondering if I took all my contacts and really got my phone contacts sorted out and just put sort of 1 page of most essential contacts in here in case my phone died. I don't know. It's an experiment, something to think about. The other slim things that I have this M2. This is a Cherry Cross M2 that Kent from Oz helped me get a hold of. He saw it offered locally for sale in Australia. He bought it for me, shipped it to me, and I reimbursed him for the expense. This does have the wallet pocket. It's got 3 card slots and a slip pocket up front, and it has a zip pocket that's a little bit gusseted in the back. It's kind of like an elastic. It's not really a gusset. Well, I guess it's an elastic gusset. So it's not really, it's not too hard to get in there. It has a pen loop down here, which kind of seems like if you put a pen in that it's going to interfere with the pages. But this was kind of an interesting thing. I know that some people have been using these and really liking them, so the page size is really kind of awkward. But if you look at, do I have any? I think I only have contact sheets in here, but that's how they're kind of, it's nice if you kind of tend to write across more than down. But anyway, that's kind of something I've been kind of thinking about. It's kind of, it'll slip into your pocket this way, although it's honestly a little bit bulky. If you compare this with this, you see, like, the Cherry Cross is almost twice as thick, I think mostly because of the double thickness of leather and just the fact that, this is a cross. It's quite stiff. I mean, it doesn't lie flat really, but it's not bad. But, it's got quite a lot of stiffener in it, in both layers of the pouch here. So, anyway, but that's another option. And then my final, this one I was really interested in, but this is a mini Guildford Extra Slim. So it's not really terribly different from a design perspective from this pocket. It's they've reduced a mini down to just the bare essentials. So you've got a leather binder. It has 11 millimeter rings, and if you see it, you can't put tabs in this. They've reduced the size of the cover down so that it's just the dimensions of the mini page. It does look, you could get away with some top tabs in here, but this one right now, it has a 2014 diary in it. It has complete, week on 2 pages. It has quite a lot of note pages and has quite a lot of contacts pages in here. And I think it has a few other odds and ends. What else does it have? Notes, addresses, to do. But anyway, this is very compelling because this definitely fits in a pocket. No pen loop, no closure strap, no back pocket, reduced to the very minimum dimensions that you would need. Mini size, it is itty bitty bitty. I mean, I'd need to get a really small tipped pen to write in here and use the space effectively. When I have attempted to use this, it's not been as bad as you might think. I can fit stuff in. It is tight. So, anyway, this little book, though, I mean, really, I've been really thinking about trialing this, too, as an option. But every time I get it out to start to think about it, it's so much work for me to move. I mentioned before, so much work for me to move all of my system from one planner to another one because there's so much in it. And that's such a huge time investment on something that I'm not entirely sure is going to work because this is so tiny. But I still am kind of interested in trying it just because if I could get myself into a system that I could actually slip into my pocket, that would really change my life, I think. That would really just make all of this work in a way that it doesn't now. So, anyway, very compelling, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get there. I'm going to stop talking. It's been going for almost half an hour. Sorry it's been so long since I made my last video. It's been a little difficult. I changed work schedule from mostly evening shifts to mostly working regular day shifts, and I've been doing a lot more meetings after work, and I don't like filming videos when other people are home. So, anyway, I will get this processed and posted. It's delightful to go over this stuff with you guys again. I think every time I talk about my planners, it really helps me clarify how I'm using the planner. So these are valuable for me. I hope that you enjoy it, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.